Hello everybody, welcome to my channel ProgrammingBit. In the previous video, we saw the three types of Python variables that were integers, floats and boolean. In this video, we will discuss one of the most important variable type of any language, that is strings. So basically strings are used to process text data. Strings represents text. Basically text can contain any character, alphabet, digit. So today we will discuss strings and different methods associated with strings. We will also discuss string operators such as concatenation and repetition. So we directly move to our Atom text editor. Here I will create a variable x and I have to store a string in it, so I will use single quotes or I will use double quotes. It is important. It defines that the text entered is a string. So I will write here hello world. So this is a string, and now we can check its type by using the type function which we learned in the previous videos. And you can save it and run it. So here you can see that x is of class string. We can also print any character, any single character of this string by using its index. So for any string, the indexes start from 0. So here h will be at 0 index and so on. So you can also access any string by its index. So I want to get the first character of x. So I will write x square brackets and the number of index. So h is at 0 index, so we will type 0. Here we can see that by running it we will get h. In this way we can access a single character of the string. We can also slice the string. It means that I can access any number of characters from this string. Here only access hello. So for this I have to start from 0 index and I will go to 1, 2, 3, 4. But I have to write 5 here because 0 is included and 5 is not included. It is up to 5 and 5 is not included. So it will print from 0 to 4. So we can see it. So here we can get hello. And if I also remove the 0, this will also print hello. It means that by keeping the first number empty means that it starts from the starting. And similarly, if we want to print world, we can write it 6, w is at 6th index. So we can here remain it empty as it will print now from 6th index to the end. We can see it. So here it prints word. Now for strings, there are many useful methods associated with them. We will first see the function len. Len is used to display the length of the string. So here I will pass in the arguments x and then print the length, so we can see what is the answer. So I have not saved it. So here you can see that the string x contains 11 characters. We can also convert a string into uppercase or lowercase letters. For this we have to use a method of string object. To access methods of an object we use this dot representation. We will discuss it in detail when we will talk about object-oriented programming. But for now you remember this dot representation. After the dot we will type the method name, which is upper. So in this way we can get the uppercase letters. Here you can see the hello world is converted into uppercase letters. Another method is capitalize. It only converts the first character of the string uppercase. So we can use it. So here we can, by applying this, we can see the first character, which was H, has been converted into uppercase. Another thing which is important to tell, that if we enter an index which is greater than the indexes of the character, it will cause us error. As you know that the length of this was 11 and the indexes start from 0 to 10. So if we print 11th index, it will cause an error. So there is a traceback index out of range. It is important to know the indexes of the string. Now the next method, which is very useful in finding a character in the string, it is find. So we will now finding O in this string. So this will return us the index at which the first O is present. So here we get fourth index, as our O is present at the fourth index. Similarly, we can also replace characters in our string by using the replace method, and here I will type replace, and I will replace O with I. So this will replace all O's with I's. So now our string becomes this, O's are replaced with I's. Another method which is very useful when we are handling files, we have to strip spaces in our character. So here I will cause some spaces, and now I will use strip function, and it will remove these spaces and return us only hello world. So as you can see, it represents as hello world and strip all the spaces. The next method we will discuss, and it is also very important to find a line in a file which starts with a character, such as our line was starting from name in the file, and we want to find the name only from the file. So we use this starts with method. So by using it, starts with method, and here we will type name. It returns a boolean confirming that this string starts with name. So the next method, which is also very important to split our strings and get the required information only, such as in this name colon space xyz, we only want the name. We don't want this name to be also printed. So we can use split method, and here we can keep it empty, so it will split the string into two parts. So we save it and run. So it returns us a list of two splitted strings. We will discuss about lists in a separate video. To print the name separately, we can store this in another variable y. As it returns us a list of separated strings, we can store it in a list y and then print the first index, which will be xyz, to print the name in the string. So by using this split, we can easily get the required information from the string. So if now we replace this space by a comma, we can still split these in two strings, but now we have to enter the character on the basis of which we want to split this string. So I have specified comma here, and now if I run it again, we will get the name only. So here again we get the name because this time we splitted it on the basis of comma. So these are very useful methods associated with strings, which makes our program simple. Till now we have learned most of the important methods associated with strings. So now we can do an example In this example, we will have a string. In that string, I will write an email address which can be my email at the rate of gmail.com. Now this string is present in a file and we want only the host to be displayed. We want to know in a file of millions of emails, we want to know what are their hosts. So I can only print this host by using the commands which we have learned. So first of all, I can split this email address on the basis of @ character, because we will know after splitting it that the host part is in the first index. So we will split it on the basis of @ character, and now we will print to see that we are getting our host part in the first index. By printing it, we get gmail.com. Now we only want Gmail, so we can again split it. I will store it in host is equal to dot split it on the basis of now dot. So now if we print host and the first index of host, so we can get, we have printed the first index, we want to get the host name, so we will print the 0th index. So here I have made a mistake. We will save it again and print now. So here we can see that we get the host, that is Gmail. So in this way, by using these methods, we can easily get the required part of the string. So now we will discuss another important phenomena relating strings. There are two string operators. First is the addition operator, that is a plus, and the second is the multiplication operator, that is a star. By using the plus operator, that is also known as concatenation operator. Concatenation operator plus can join two strings. For example, here from a simple example I will show it. X is equal to hello. Now y is equal to world. I want to print hello world. So I will use the concatenation operator, that is the plus sign, to join these strings x, and then we will use plus, then we will write y. So now you can see that we will print hello world. You can see here. Now if I give a space here, then print it, you will get it simple with a space. So in this way we can concatenate as many strings as we like. We cannot concatenate an integer type and a string type. So we cannot do this by keeping one in x, that is an integer. It will not work. So we will get a traceback that the types of the both variables are different. One is integer, the other is string. So this cannot be done. So if we write 1 plus 1, 2, 3, this is also not possible because it is a number but it is of string type. So we cannot do this as well. Otherwise, if we do this, the answer should be 126. But we can see here it cannot be performed because the types of the both variables are different. So now if we make it string as well, this will not print 126 now also, because the both are string and they will join, not add up. So you can see the answer is not 126, it is 1125, as both strings are joining. So Hopefully it will be clear. Now we will move towards the second string operator, that is known as the replication operator. So what it does, it will have a string type variable and a integer type variable. So if we write here 112, so what will it do, that it will print the string that is 1, it will stored in x, so it will print x y times. So 12 is stored in y, so it will print 1 12 times. This is the replication operator, and it will print 1 12 times. So the replication operator can only be used on a string, and the other should be an integer or float. So now I will show you the two methods to store a multi-line string. It means that if I want a string to be displayed in 3 lines, my name is XYZ, my age is 1 to 3, so I am keeping it to 2 lines. So now if I will print this, it will not print it in 2 lines. It will cause us an error. We can see it, print x, save. So it will give us an error. I want to print this in 2 lines. I can use 3 quotes. By using these 3 quotes, it will now print us this string in 2 lines. So we can see here. So now I have given here a gap, so the gap is coming. We can do it like this. So now by using 3 quotes, we can display a string in 2 lines. The other way we can print the string in 2 lines is by using escape characters. Now what are escape characters? Backslash is the escape characters, and there are different escape characters such as backslash n is used as a new line character. Tells the string that after this what is typed should be printed in another line. So we use these characters in print statement, which we'll discuss in a bit. Now by using this new line character, I will do the same. I will use single quotes, bring that back, paste our new line character here, and now I will print it again. So now we have the same answer as before when we use 3 quotes. So by using escape characters, we can achieve different results. We will discuss it with the print statement. Now we will come to the second part, which is typecasting. There are 3 functions here: float, integer, and string. These are basically constructor functions. This is an object-oriented programming term. We will discuss it. So these are constructor functions, and what they do is that they convert what we pass in them. If we pass this float function a float value, it will represent as a float. But if we pass it a integer or string type object, it will convert that into float type. So similarly for integer and string, they will also convert the argument type into integers and string. So typecasting is very important when we are getting information from the user by using the input function. Because the input function returns the entered value in a string, we most of the time have to convert it into integers or float to make them usable in our computation. We will discuss about input function in detail. So for now we will see different typecasting functions. Here I am converting it into string. I will create a variable h and store a float in it, 23.0. 0, and then I will convert it into a string x is equal to str by using the str function, and I will pass h in it. So if I print the type of x, now the type of x will be converted from float to string. So here we can see that the type of x is string and the type of h will remain float because it will not disturb h, as we have converted it and stored its value in x. So x have a string 23.0 but h is having a float. Its value will not be affected. Similarly, if I convert it into an integer, as 23.0 is a float and I convert it into integer and now I print it, it will print 23 only. So here we get the answer 23. But if now I have typed in 23.6, so now by printing it, it will also print 23. So it will not round it to the next whole integer, but instead of that it will only remove the decimal part. To round it to the next integer we use round function. So now you can see the answer is 24. So in this way we can convert any type into any other. Here an important point to be noted is that if I made a string having alphabets in it, str, and now I want to convert it into integer, it will not convert it and give us an error. It is giving us an error invalid literal. This is because these are alphabets and they cannot be converted into digits. Now for the third part of this video, we will discuss the escape characters associated with the print, and also we will discuss positional arguments and keyword arguments associated with the print function. So as I have told you that backslash is the escape character, and if we write n with it, it becomes the new line character. So now we will use it in print statement. I will print a line, my name is XYZ. Now I want the next part to be printed in next line, so I will put this new line character here, and now what I will write will be printed in the next line. So I will write ABC. Now this will printed in two separate lines. So we can see that I will comment that line and save it. And now my name is XYZ and ABC is in the second line. As backslash is the escape character, if we want to print backslash in our string, so we will use double backslash. First is the escape character and the second is the backslash which we want to print in our string. So in this way we can print a backslash in our text, and here you can see the backslash is showing. Now if we want to print quotes in our string, then we will also use a backslash. So here I am printing a quote, and if I want to print that quote again here, I will again use our escape character. So we can see that ABC is now in quotes. So this is the basic use of escape characters. Now we will discuss about positional arguments. So if we separate our strings by commas in this positional way, so this way of writing them is known as positional arguments, as we have positioned our arguments. First M will print, then name will be printed. Here I will type XYZ. This is positional way of printing our strings. So here you can see that my first string and then the space is printed between them. This space is printed between them because we have separated our strings by comma. Next thing we will discuss is the keyword arguments. They can change the behavior of this print statement, and they are used at the last position. There are two types of positional argument, and SCP stands for separate. To write this keyword argument, we assign it some value. So this is our keyword, this is the assignment operator, and this is the value we assign it. And if we use it at the last position in our print statement, what it will do, that if there is another print statement, it will bring that back in a single line, similar to the new line character. So here there are two xyz because this keyword argument end brings back the next print statement. So end is basically doing the same thing which new line character do, but the change is that we can assign values of any length to this argument which will be printed before the next print statement. So I will print here static, so you can now see that the static is printed and then the next print statement is printed. Now we will discuss the second argument scp. It is also written in the same manner as the end argument is typed. So here if we pass dot in it, what it will do is that it will separate all the positional arguments by this dot. You can see the result here, that what it does, it separates all the positional arguments with this dot. So what we assign to it, it will separate on the basis of that. I also use the end argument and pass dot to it also. Now what it will do, so the separate argument is separating these with a dot, and by using the end it brings back the next print statement with a dot. So this is all for this video. In the next video we will discuss about the different operators in Python, and hopefully we will also learn about the input statement. So subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so you can get the updates of this course.